Are you ready to make the most of this Mars retrograde for your business and your overall life? Well, you found yourself at the right place. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you astro insights as well as what it means for your business, what steps you can take to really slay, and of course, a beautiful card reading to really support you during this Mars retrograde. So if you haven't already, click subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and you're gonna wanna make sure you share this with your friends because this is good. What's up everyone, Sabrina here, and I'm really excited to be sharing with you these new segments that I'm going to be doing, sharing with you on YouTube, on my podcast, and throughout my social media, because I want to help you really find astro alignment with your business and your overall life, because your business is an extension of you. So when you can work with these astrological transits, not only will it support you, but in the end, it will help your business and how you are able to serve. So we are in a really beautiful, powerful experience right now of Mars retrograde. And of course, the day that Mars goes retrograde, it looked apocalyptic in San Francisco, right? The sky was red. It was very Mad Max. And the truth is, apocalypse is about really sharing that truth and exposing the truth. And this is what 2020 Crystal Vision has been all about. So the fact that we are ending out the last portion of the year with a powerful, powerful Mars retrograde and it's Aries. Come on, Mars is the ruler of Aries. So this is just more and more fire, so much fire to really alchemize and transmute. So when we look at Mars, Mars is the ruler of Aries, and this is the space for you to be in that energetic expression. It's about why you're here and what you're going to be doing during this human experience of yours. You came here for a purpose and for a reason, and you have every right to transform that passion into purpose. And that's a lot of that Mars energy. As I share in the Mystic Planner, Mars rules Tuesday, right? Mars Day. We can look at it through the Latin etymology. And so these are really powerful times to really take action and take initiative. And so does Mars. But the thing is, we are really taking action by putting the pieces together and understanding our hero's journey, the experiences we've navigated through, so that we can really take action. This is the initiative and the initiation we've been calling in to experience the next version, the blessed version of ourselves, our business, and our overall human experience. When we think about Aries, Aries is when we think in the higher timelines, it's about conscious discipline, right? When we are going forth and taking that initiative, we're doing it with devotion, right? We have this fire and this courage to really create the reality that supports the highest benevolence of truth, love, compassion, the greater good. And this is the time for us to find that alignment. So when Mars retrograde, where it looks like a planet is spinning backwards, but it's the way that it's passing the earth, by the earth, this is a really beautiful time to take a step back and do all of the reflects, the re's. We've known about that with Mercury retrograde, but it's still a really beautiful time to really revisit and to get all of our ducks in a row. This is the time to align to your sovereignty, the time to align to your sovereign power, because we have to understand we've grown up in a society with conditioning, especially in American culture, that is work, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. But alignment is the true hustle. And to find that alignment, you got to know when to rest. And this has been a wild year. I mean, I don't know about you or if you know anyone who doesn't believe that they've shifted since COVID started. I know for me, when COVID was starting, I was in Bali writing my book, and I had to rush back home because all the borders were closing and everything. And reflecting back on where I was 6 months ago, I can feel the evolution, but I've also been doing the work, and I found that alignment. And this is the time for us to find that alignment and to recognize that you came here for a reason. There's no accident why you've endured what you've endured. You are transforming that pain into purpose and realizing that those passions of yours and the purpose of yours, they go hand in hand. You are here to do something that lights you up, that fuels you. Very Mars, Aries, fire energy, right? We are in this time to start putting the pieces together and to see what's in alignment, what isn't in our lives, in our relationships, and in our business. And this is going to be a very powerful transit because we've got this square of Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. So we've got a lot about expansion and deep awareness and the great teacher that can really see when we take that step back and reflect what actually feels alignment, what's actually true, what do we not consent to in this reality. And there could be a lot of that inner conflict coming up because of this really powerful square where there's 90-degree angles between these planets. But, this inner conflict that's coming up, it can be triggered by the external conflicts that are going on. And that's our initiation for massive growth. And a lot of people have been in the victim mindset of what's going on, especially politically, of how things are unfolding. But you're giving away your power to something outside of you. And that's not what Mars energy is about. You are here to be in your sovereign truth. And I feel like that's been part of the blessing of the Mars retrograde, is that this is the time for us to reflect back on how we can fully embody our sovereignty so that we can show and serve with integrity, conviction, and confidence. And that's what these times are about. Because if you are giving all of your energy to the situations, to the things outside of you, are you really in your power? Like, are you really in your power? Or are you fueling that to create more of this dissonance between your internal reality and your external reality? You have the ability to make the most of this life, and you have the ability to activate the life that you want. You have to take initiative, and that's what this time is all about. So really start getting radically honest with yourself, because there's no more room for self-judgment. There's no more room for playing small. There's no more room for giving your power away to circumstances, people, situations outside of yourself. And the more that you find yourself doing that, what a beautiful opportunity for you to dive in deep. But a lot of people don't want to do that deeper work. They're either lazy, they want someone else to do it, or they're scared of what they're going to find. Again, you're giving away your power to things of your past, to things outside of you. And this is the time for you to stop hiding. Start to embody and step into your truth. And your sovereignty, your power, your medicine, clearly it's needed more than ever before. So this is the time for you to take initiative and do something about it. This is the time for you to make the most of it. And what else is really great about this Mars retrograde, as I teach and thrive when we're talking about the Golden Arrow Astro seasons, this transit is going until mid-November, okay? So we've got, it started 9/9. I'm pretty sure it's going till the 12th of November. I don't remember off the top of my head. But that means it's happening when the sun is in Virgo, when the sun is in Libra, and when the sun is in Scorpio. Virgo, this is all about you really honoring that emotional well-being. This is about you taking and cultivating this beautiful inner unity, right? Between your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit. Finding this beautiful alignment so that you can be in your full integrity. That Virgo energy, she is self-reliant. She knows what she wants. And when you think about it, Virgo and Mercury, they go hand in hand, right? Mercury is the planet that rules Virgo. The time for you to speak your truth. So when we've got Virgo going on, we got Libra, Venus, the divine feminine. How can you really be in your power in that creative flow? So when we have Libra season as well as this Mercury retrograde is passing on, this is the time for you to recognize that there is no separation. So it's time for you to start connecting the dots as to what's led you here. And again, reclaiming your power back from the past, because the inner is cultivating the outer and it's coming from projection. So within, if you're still feeling really insecure, you're going to see that as your reality. So this is the time for you to find that balance, to cultivate that justice of peace. Find that inner peace to start to experience that external peace. Peace in your reality, right? No justice, K-N-O-W, no peace, K-N-O-W. So this is the time for you to recognize if there's things outside of you that are triggering you, what a beautiful opportunity for you to take initiative and do something about it. Yes, it's going to require you getting to the nitty-gritty, and it may not look pretty, which is something social media doesn't like to share, or a lot of your spiritual teachers, but life is not all love and light. When we find and go through that muck and the shadows of our past, we're able to illuminate and transmute and to find that wisdom. And this is what you're here to share with your business. You're here to really share that wisdom. And as we go into Scorpio season, ruled by Pluto of the underworld, there's a lot of that death energy, but you are dying off the pieces of you that aren't in alignment anymore. This is about you surrendering and co-creating with God, Spirit, Universe, Source to really alchemize your desires and your manifestations, because you embodying your highest self, you in that alignment will allow you to magnetize what it is you're calling in. And that's what this Mars retrograde is here to really help us with. Because we're able to look back, we're able to really start tightening the loose ends, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and taking the initiative. I mean, we're in a whole new decade. Yes, the past 9 months or so have been brutal, but to me, it feels like we're clearing out all the muck to set precedent for a really beautiful decade we have in store. And 2020 Crystal Vision, a lot of astrologers say because of the Gregorian calendar and the times being off from the Mayans because of leap day and hours and holidays, what have you, this is actually a lot of the energy of the prophesized 2012. I mean, think about it. We are literally going through a massive, massive rebirth. And something to also think about, America is in its Pluto return. So all of the shit from the injustices that have been going on in this country, they're all coming up to the surface right now to be healed and transmuted, which is why it's challenging. But if you're someone who's been doing the work, it can come with a lot more ease and grace. You're going to feel more supported because you're in your sovereign power where nothing outside of you can steer you away. It's not like that has power over you anymore, right? You have the ability to be like, this is what's going on. How do I choose to react to it? Am I choosing to answer the call and step up? Am I choosing to have better boundaries and say I don't consent? Am I choosing to ask for help? These are what the breadcrumbs are, and the real gifts and what we really need to focus and harness in for this Mars retrograde if we want to experience success. So what does Mars retrograde mean for your business, right? We're in this time to, answer the call. A lot of people have seen, maybe they've been away from work now, maybe they've lost their jobs, maybe they've been already cultivating their own entrepreneurial path. And there's an initiative right now for us to really stop playing small. Like I said, initiative for us to really share with the world why we're here. This is the time for you to focus on your rebrand. Get honest with yourself about your offerings and if they actually feel aligned to you anymore. Start focusing on your funnels and your systems to allow you to work smarter instead of harder and for things to flow. Start coming up with a plan, maybe for Q4 when we go into the fourth quarter. Maybe you can start thinking about what is it that you want to create in 2021. This is the time to really treat your business with the respect that it deserves, because you are here creating the soulful business to help revolutionize the world. It's not about your ego. It's about you being of service. So you're seeing what's going on in the world. How can you show up and serve? How can you take that initiative and say, all right, this is what's going on outside of me. It's time for me to do something about it. And so to really go out there and slay it, let's talk about the steps for you to slay. The first thing I would really invite you to do is to really dive in and ask, where have you been playing small? Have you been putting off that rebrand? Are there energetic leaks in your content strategy, in your website, in the things that you know have been on your task list, but you keep putting off? How's your content planning looking? Are your systems flowing right? Is there organization? How are your finances? This is where we need to start getting radically honest with ourselves, right? Alchemizing those outdated, limiting beliefs once and for all, because you have to get honest with yourself. Are you holding yourself back from really speaking your truth and sharing what's in your heart because you're afraid of how it's going to be received. Yes, there's a lot of censorship going on. And you know what? This is the time to be courageous, because if people or situations where you're sharing your truth and you're being censored, clearly those spaces aren't ready for your energy. And there's no shame to that. You accepting yourself first, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of there. Your soul squad, your friends, your supporters, they see you and they want to know what you're doing. They want to know why you're here. So this is the time for you to stop playing small. The second step, I would say, get radically honest with yourself. Has pride and ego been running the show here? What has been your initiative or your intention up until now as to why you're showing up? Are you chasing an image, or are you actually showing up with integrity? I know a lot of people get caught up with the numbers on top of social media. It doesn't matter. You can have like 65,000 followers and your engagement be shit. It doesn't matter. It's about cultivating genuine connection with your community. And once you've been able to cultivate that genuine connection with yourself, again, the inner, it will create the outer. Your success is inevitable. Because you're sharing with confidence, you're sharing with integrity, you're sharing your truth. And these are the things that we need to get radically honest with ourselves about, is where can we check ourselves before we really wreck ourselves, okay? The third step I would say is to really choose to share from a space of genuine connection. What's going on right now is that we are purging out the last of the Piscean age that was about competition and ego and pride, that patriarchal systems that they don't support. They're outdated and people are over it. Let's get honest. So the first step you need to really ask yourself is, how can you be genuine with yourself? How can you cultivate the boundaries and learn to say no? Okay, because during this time of Mars retrograde, we're also going to be having the election in the United States. So the veil is going to get thinner as we also enter Scorpio season, and it's going to get more and more intense as a test to see how embodied you are in your integrity, how non-negotiable you state your energy to be, that you will be in your truth, having the courage to speak up and go against the norm, right? This isn't about following what everyone else is doing. This is about honing into yourself, honoring your boundaries, and staying in your integrity, okay? This is how you're going to lead. We've seen this in the spiritual community a lot, where everyone's doing what everyone else is doing, but that lack of integrity has actually steered a lot of the community off course. And so you have every right to say no. You have every right to transmute and heal that habitual people pleaser you may have once been, and to ask for help, to cultivate those boundaries, and to know when to take a break. Next week, I'm going to be talking about how to keep sane during quarantine and election season, because they very much coincide with one another. And this is what we really need to focus on, because during this time, especially, self-love is a non-negotiable, right? We're talking Mars and Aries, yo. Like, this is a very, very potent energy. You need to know when to take that rest. You need to know when to delete the social media apps from your phone. If you need to take a social media sabbatical, go for it. If you need to go into nature, go for it. If you need to call and ask for support and help, go for it. Because you can't be of service to others if you're not serving your needs first. And that's something that the habitual people pleaser has had a really hard time addressing and embracing, because we've always put our oxygen mask on last. It's the empath, like that's the conditioning we grew up in. And more empaths are realizing, like, I have a bigger role here, and it's okay for me to take a break and to slow the roll, right? Things are working behind the scenes, and we can have a lot of that Aries, Mars, go, go, go energy again. But again, it's in retrograde. Slow your roll, because what's happening right now, you are shedding layers, you're taking off the masks, and you're breaking down these barriers once and for all. So there's no more time for you to do what everyone else is doing. This is the time for you to burn your own path, to pave your own path, to be that rise of the phoenix, and to really show the world why you're here. And as I promised, I am going to be doing these 3-card readings with every of these massive transits we're navigating through. And so I'm working with a new deck here, the Prism and Fleur, and I've been wanting this deck for so long, and I finally got it. And I love supporting smaller brands and their decks, and these cards and the messages that came through, it's just so beautiful. You literally can't make this up. So let's talk about the first card that came up. We've got the Queen of Rings, or the Queen of Pentacles. And so this is all about the hard worker who's really nurturing and working hard for the collective evolution. So this is the time for you to share your wisdom. This is the time for you to understand that success is beyond the monetary and material gains. This is about you, what's the legacy you're leaving behind? How can you start putting together the breadcrumbs and the pieces as to your hero's journey again, and share from this wisdom? The next card that came out was the Four of Swords reversed. And this is the time for you to really get honest. Where do you feel unstable and like your energy is all over the place? Because this is the time for you to get honest as to where things are out of alignment and to take that initiative to alchemize it. This is about you taking one step at a time. So if you can go forth and create like a big piece of paper where you can have your notes and like a brain dump of what are the things you want to accomplish during this 2-month period, do it and start penciling in and scheduling in when to take initiative. Cultivate on solid ground, because maybe part of that habit before and what's held you back from sharing your truth or your medicine or really taking your business to the next level is that you haven't set it up right. So think of this, okay? And then finally, we've got the Queen of Swords. And so this is the time for you to go and really see beyond the illusion and to really speak your truth with conviction and integrity, okay? You know what's going on behind the scenes, and now is your chance to do something about it, and do it with soulful intention and strategy. You've had time in quarantine to start doing your research beyond what the mainstream media is telling you. Take initiative and start putting the pieces as you've navigated through your own journey of trial and error, and start to share your wisdom out there. And so I would love to hear what you feel in the comments. Make sure you tag me on Instagram at Sabrina Riccio, or use the hashtag Unleash Your Medicine. And I'm excited to be sharing with you that I am going to be offering a free Kundalini Equinox experience on the 20th of September, Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, where I'm going to be talking more about Mars Retrograde, the season's coming up, and how we can really take this initiative. I also have a very, very special offering and experience, and you'll be getting a free guide of reflection questions and a card spread to help you for the equinox. So you can click the link inside the show notes, or you can check bit.ly, all in caps, elevate your equinox. Again, bit.ly, capital, all caps, elevate your equinox to sign up. It's free. The replay will be available, but I will have a very special offering between Sunday and the equinox you're not going to want to miss. So I would love to hear how this resonated with you. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'm excited to be sharing more of this wisdom with you, because this is how we need to really show up. We have the ability to work with the cosmos. We have the ability to work with the astrology in our favor. It doesn't have power over us. We have the power to work with these tools and to take initiative and unleash our medicine with the world. I'm very excited to hear how this inspired you to go out there and share your medicine. I'm excited to share more of this medicine, this wisdom, and all the things. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you soon. Take care. Satnam.